Adventure and Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
Wake up, America! It's time for the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY.com, West Palm Beach's #1 internet radio station. Here's your host, the Pipeman.
This is the Pipeman here on the Adventures of Pipeman W4CY Radio, and I'm here with our next guest, who is a badass rocker. And so let's welcome to the show, Dino from Red Voodoo. How are you?
Hey, what's up, dude? Hey, man. Thanks for having me on the show.
Hey, my pleasure. So, yeah, funny, my childhood nickname, and people have known me most of my life, is still Dino, but it's spelled the way my name is spelled, with the E-A-N-O.
Oh, right on, dude. Yeah, I guess I'm the Italian way then, huh? D-I-N-O.
Yeah, and it's funny because I am Italian. I'm actually an Italian Jew. So you would think it would be spelled the other way, but since my name was Dean, people just started calling me Dino and made my nickname longer than my actual name.
Right, man. Well, hey, that's funny, dude, because, yeah, that's like the same with me, except my dad and I, we have the same name. So my mom, to, not get confused, is like, okay, you're Dino and you're Dean. So I was like, all right, cool.
Well, that's pretty cool.
But I go by Dean sometimes. It's my government name. I kind of have to.
There you go.
Yeah.
Funny story about that. Somebody that I have working for me that runs my Louisiana studio, she was going to cover an event with me one time because, I go around and do radio coverage at festivals and other events. And, when you go to get your media credentials, they want to know your name and see your ID. So when they asked her name, she gave her radio moniker name, like her nickname, not her real name.
Oh, right.
And I'm like, yeah, they're not going to give you a credential. You have to give them your real name. She's like, that is my real name. The name on your government ID is the name they need.
Right. Yeah. She's like, yeah. I'm the electric dog, man. Like, that's on my government ID.
There you go. I love it. So I gotta say, I was checking out the new music, and it is badass. It's old school rock and roll. Somebody else said it, and before I even read that, listening to it, I totally got the Van Hagar vibe.
Oh, sick, man. Right on. That's cool.
100%. 100%. And I think it's pretty cool that Sammy actually endorsed your self-titled debut EP.
Yeah, man. It's a huge honor, It's like having any just musician that you look up to, or, any band that's doing what you want to do is just super cool. But, my hero actually saying stamp of approval on it, doesn't get any better than that, And
right.
It's great, I think, he even mentioned, that we were like the next up and coming, like, kind of Montrose type vibe act coming up. So that was really huge. So it's a very cool, it's a really cool boost and stuff. And the EP is getting really well received with people. And, a lot of people, who are just getting into rock music, or, have been listening to it for a long time, are saying, hey, man, that sounds really cool. So it's fun. It's great, man. I mean, I couldn't ask for anything better for a debut.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, like, did that kind of blow your mind when Sammy Hagar is endorsing your debut EP?
I mean, yeah. I mean, sometimes I still can't believe it, where it's like, yeah, dude, like, he thinks it's cool, what you guys, created, and he knows the influences there and all that. And, but, we take influence from, Y&T, we kind of claim ourselves as like Northern California rock and roll. I don't know any other, I would say, up and coming bands, who are doing the genre in NorCal, really. Plenty in SoCal, like in LA and stuff. But as far as Northern California, we got the, Montrose, Journey, Y&T, Hagar kind of vibe, and that's what we kind of want to bring to our generation. Is just that kind of sound and swagger.
I think it is pretty cool that retro is making a comeback. There's so many artists I interview that are putting out vinyl. There's a lot
Yeah,
of artists I interview are going back to just basic rock and roll and being musicians again instead of, what the record labels through the years have tried to produce rock and roll to be. Just going
right.
back to the
Just put,
real thing.
yeah, man. It's really all about just for the love of music, and just like the roots of rock and roll. And I mean, I've talked to a lot of bands that are kind of in our realm. Up and coming, like you said, like retro throwback type of bands, and we're not really into all the the drugs and drinking. We're really about we're just about the music. That's really what it's all about for us, and I think that really shows in what Voodoo's doing or any of these other bands that are coming up for sure. I think I saw Slash say that too. He was the one that was like, yeah, man, they're focused on the music, which is super cool.
I love that because that is kind of the cool thing about nowadays is that musicians aren't a train wreck like they were back in the day. Like you guys take it seriously. A lot of straight edge musicians that you're just, you're perfecting your craft. It's more about the music than the party scene.
Right, exactly. Because I mean, like, I look up to all these guys, so I'm not trying to trash any of those artists or that kind of thing. But it's like a learning experience. You can learn from. You're like, oh man, I don't want to do that. People are paying money to come see us. You know, or are you going to see a show? You don't want to be a train wreck or a fool out there. People won't take us seriously. And yeah, it's at the end of the day, like you said, man, it's really about the music. And I mean, right now, I mean, there's no money in this for us. There's no money in this business or that kind of thing. And if you party, nowadays, of course, there'll be no money in it at all.
Yeah,
But we're not in it for that. We're just in it just to make music and just kind of bringing that rock and roll flair back into a world that really doesn't have a lot of it right now. Um,
exactly.
so that's what really all about. And no, that's great. I think that's a great take on it for rock.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's pretty cool that you look at in the way of okay, so these people in the past, you learn from their experiences, and I think that's always what makes us evolve as humans is learning from previous experiences, what to do better, how to do things, and you know, having somebody like Sammy Hagar, to me, he is one of the pros in the industry. You
Oh, he's
know,
still doing it. I mean, he's up there with Mick Jagger, and as
yeah,
far as like doing it still, I mean, he's pushing 80, I think, right now. He's 77. And
yeah,
Mick Jagger's like 83 or something like that. I'm seeing them on Wednesday. Super stoked. And but yeah, they're just like living, breathing, rock legends that are still doing it.
yeah. And you take somebody like Hagar, I've never looked at him as like a train wreck. You know,
No, no, yeah, right, exactly, exactly. And I think that's what a lot of younger musicians are looking at. Red Voodoo for sure is like, man, we want to be that. We want to, you know, do it so we could be like a Hagar or a Mick Jagger or any of those other rockers that are still doing it.
yeah. There you go. So, what was that one moment in time in your life that you knew this is the route you were going to take?
I would say for sure it was two moments. My dad took me to see Hagar in 2017. It was my very first concert ever.
Wow.
And yeah, very first concert ever, and in South Lake Tahoe at the Harris Amphitheater out there. And it was with the Circle, so with Vic Johnson, Michael Anthony, Jason Bonham, and Sam. And I've never been to a concert, never really listened to rock music. I was like in high school, so I think I was listening to like Maroon 5 or some shit. And and this is the thing I always say. It's not just about just the songs from Van Halen that really hooked me, or the songs of Hagar that hooked me, but it was his infectious attitude towards life and
Yeah.
towards being on the stage. And that's where I was like, holy shit, I want to do that. I want to be that for someone. I want someone to come to my show and just forget about whatever bullshit they're dealing with, you know, um, and just have fun for a couple hours. That's really what it's all about. At the end of the day, music is making people feel alive and happy and fun, and that's what Voodoo's
Yeah.
all about. And that's really kind of set the path, was that show. And the second time was seeing Y&T in Sacramento,
Nice.
seeing Dave Medichetti, and just like, again, just the infectious nature and just the guitars and the songs. And I was like, man, I want to do that. So that really set it off as far as what I wanted to do with my life.
I love it. That's a great story because that's, kind of how it happens. Moments like that, and then you catch the bug, the music bug.
Yeah, dude. And it's I'll say this, like, right now I'm 21, so right now all my friends have just graduated college, and they, I didn't go to college. I'm doing this. This is like my path, my journey. Let's say it. But being a young musician, trying to make it, trying to make it a career. It's one of those things where it's like, man, I'm seeing all my friends graduate college and they got degrees, and I'm still, trying to do this. I don't have any security. I don't have a plan B. But there's also something to be said of like, wow, man, like, I found what I wanted to do when I was 16, 17 years old, and I'm still doing it, while all my peers are, not the go, they don't know what they want to do, so to speak,
Right.
graduate college and then real world. So, yeah, that's totally off topic, but that's just something I've been thinking about lately.
Hey, I like off topic because every interview can sound the same otherwise. I
Right.
like to hear the good stuff, the stuff that not everybody is talking about or not everybody's asking about. So I
Right.
think
But
that's badass.
that's like an insight into it myself, and just, I think, being a musician nowadays, and trying to really go for it.
I love it. Well, I think your attitude is going to make you go there everywhere
Thanks,
you
man.
want to
Thanks,
go.
man.
Everywhere you want to go. So tell everybody how they can reach out to you guys on socials, on the web, get your new album, EP.
Yeah,
Check
man.
out everything.
Yeah, man. So it's pretty straight up and down Red Voodoo across the board. Search that up, you'll find us. RedVoodooBand.com for our website. Red Voodoo Band on our Instagram. Red Voodoo on Facebook. Check us out on TikTok. Red Voodoo. And if you want to get the EP, you can either get it through our Spotify. Go to our Spotify page and purchase the vinyl or the CD. Or on our website on RedVoodooBand.com. You could check out T-shirts, merchandise, and you could get the CD and vinyl available there as well. So those two spots would be a good place to look.
Very cool. Well, you keep rocking it because everybody's got to check out your music. You guys are amazing, and I can't wait to see a lot more from you. And thanks for being on the Adventures of Pipeman.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.